Hi, everyone. Welcome into our weekly live stream, as always, at 6 p.m. London. Today, we're going to have a very interesting guest that Anne met at the conference in Miami. I want to invite Bryan, the founder and current CEO of Alpha Group. If Is Bryan here with us? Can we see him, please? Okay, perfect. Hi,
Cool.
Bryan. How you doing?
Dude, I'm doing great today. Today is a fantastic day.
Awesome, awesome. This is great.
Hey,
Glad to hear that.
meeting Anna at Permissionless was like a crazy cool time. We were at the conference. I was talking to her. She was telling me about Grand Time, introduced to her to an investor friend of mine. I'm like, you got to hear this. I was kind of pitching your narrative, changing your narrative, like the Upwork for crypto a little bit, and just trying to help out
This
the
is
help out the
this is
team.
great. She told
Yeah.
me about you right after the conference. She texted me on in Telegram. She's like, "Well, I met a cool guy. We're having a cool time." She told me about that. You introduced her to a couple of people as
hmm
well. So this is great. And we've spoke with Bryan after the conference. And Bryan,
hmm
as when we spoke, I told you that Grand Time is introducing a lot of people to the crypto, and a lot of people that we have in the project are newcomers in crypto. Some of them are more savvy and know a lot more details about it and read news and stuff like that. And a lot of people are really new, and Grand is the first token that they were introduced to in crypto. So by saying that, I wanted to ask you. How did you get into crypto? Because this is a very interesting, question for all of our
Yeah,
community,
yeah.
and everybody would love to hear that.
Yeah, I got into it by accident. I was doing a payment tech startup. It was called SecurePay back in 2011, 2012. And we were trying to solve like picture to purchase, image recognition, and buying stuff on mobile apps. And my lead developer at the time that handled all of our infrastructure had this idea about we had this challenge or problem is like, how do we split the transaction? So we were doing this affiliate model in which we were kind of like lead generation for a retail commerce company, actually 300 retail commerce companies, where they would put a QR code or the
Wow.
UPC on the package. You take a picture of it on your mobile app. It takes you right to purchase it, and then we would get anywhere from 10 to 20% of the purchase.
Wow.
So it got super complicated when we were trying to like kind of split the transaction. So he set up a server and he's like, hey, there's this thing called Bitcoin. And we think that we could probably do something where we're splitting and making the money programmable, right? So he ran it up, and the company failed, just like the business model. We did some purchases. We did a $3,000 order of these pies, and they came to the customer rotten, and then they charged back, right? And so there was like
Uh,
crazy logistics problems involved there, but we made more money off of the single node mining Bitcoin that we had than anything else we did in the company. When Bitcoin originally
wow.
went to like 200 or 500, and so that was 2013-ish, and I can remember the Wednesday before Thanksgiving in America. So like usually have off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for Thanksgiving. Wednesday before Thanksgiving, 2013, I spent 36 hours diving into like the white paper and like Satoshi and just all of that. But I've gone to zero 3 times in crypto. It's highly volatile. I've gone out of crypto into more kind of like traditional finance, back into crypto, out of crypto. And about 2 years ago, I went fully back in again
This
around the
is
time of sushi.
this is crazy. Always hear all the startups and businesses that are starting from scratch. Especially when founders are new in crypto as well. I love hearing stories of how people are starting something with great ideas, and they're thinking that this will be this is it. This is what I'm going to do until the rest of my life, and then here you go, you're
Yeah.
at zero again. But this is what is what again, what I love about CEOs and founders is that people like that don't stop. You take it as a
Yeah.
lesson, as, okay, I understand, I grew it and then it went to zero again, but it doesn't mean that I'm bad. I'm a bad entrepreneur. I can do it again. And you start from the beginning, and then it can't stop you. It only motivates you.
Yeah. So as a trader, trading, and like, so I don't trade anymore at all. Like I buy and I hold,
Mm-hmm.
I buy and I hold, I buy. I don't trade
There you
because I'm
go.
not a good trader. It's a 24-hour market. Most of my mistakes are 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, tired, not thinking straight,
Exactly.
like not being as disciplined, right? So on the 24-hour market, you really, really have to be super disciplined. And I just found out over time that I can't trade 24
100%
hours.
agree. I'm the
Yeah.
same way. I am not a trader, and I am not saying that traders are bad people, or they're
Not.
they're risking anything or whatever.
Yeah.
But I cannot be in front of the computer 24/7 looking at the charts, and I can't really do anything else. And this is what I tell my community as well. I get these questions a lot, like, what should I buy now? What would you recommend
Right.
to invest in, whatever? And I say, if I am investing or I am buying something, I am buying something long term. I will buy that
Yeah.
today and forget about it for at least half a year or so, and then look at it again. If it didn't go up, then I failed, or maybe I have to wait a little more time. But yeah, this is the same strategy I use for my crypto investments, and I totally agree on that. Bryan, if we can hear a couple of words about Alpha Group and how it started,
Mhm.
and if you can share a couple of words about
Totally.
that.
It's AlphaGrowth. Sorry about that. Just want a little small correction. AlphaGrowth.io. So we started.
Oh,
I was once sushi came in August 2020. I was all in again because I had built an early Bitcoin exchange back in 2014. And once I saw sushi up, I'm like, dude, I get this, right? So I started getting heavily back into it. I got brought on as a growth hacker. Maybe we doing all the marketing strategy of this company called Sommelier Finance. Went through their whole entire process, right? So they raised 3.5 million, and then they brought me on, and I handled their marketing, I handled their growth strategy, I handled community development and growth, marketing, AMAs, in-person events, and all the way. So they launched, helped them raise two of their 20 million or whatever, and they launched TGE at a $250 million valuation. At all-time high back in January, they were like $3.5 billion valuation, and now they're like
wow.
500 or 600 million, right? So I saw the whole entire process, the public pump, the dump, and like learned a ton of lessons and been growing the team throughout that process. And so we have kind of two arms of Alpha Growth. One is where we help a token project all the way from idea to narrative to recruiting to team building to investor introductions, community growth, token launch mechanics, tokenomics. We took on some early clients, 2 years ago that their tokenomics were just completely garbage, and we were getting paid in tokens. So we were forced to dive deep into tokenomics and make sure that the token retains value, and treasury management, DeFi operations, business development. So everything but the product, right? So a lot of
Hmm.
these guys in the space, super smart entrepreneurs, super smart in blockchain, they need a lot of like business help. They need business development help. They need marketing help. They need everything else. And so that's kind of what we work on. That's kind of one arm. The other arm is that
Gotcha.
we were running the business development arm for Aurora EVM, which lays on top of Near. And so we were helping with business development. We deployed like 1.7 million in grants, brought over 38 projects to Aurora to build on Aurora. So think like corporate venture and not really VC, but like more like giving grants and liquidity incentives to people to build on Aurora. So that's a
Gotcha. So
lot. That's
basically, if
our
I
biggest
am,
client.
let's say, I'm the guy with an idea, and I believe in this idea, and I can kind of imagine a project that I want to see. I can come to Alpha Group,
Mm-hmm.
and you guys will help me with tokenomics, with all
Mm-hmm.
the technical stuff, and will help me bring the project to masses. Basically, if
You
yeah,
have to come with the developers. You have to come with
with the
development and
developers.
developers and being able to build the product. If you have an idea,
Hmm.
generally I invest right into the clients now, like pre-seed check. as well. So
Mm-hmm.
if I'm not going to invest in your company, I'll tell you why. I've raised money before for multiple clients. I raised money for myself. The worst thing is like giving somebody like not direction and feedback on why. And so like I try to make explicit direction and feedback on why would an investor take on as a client, because we take a lot of percentage of our payment in token. And if
Mm-hmm.
we're risking, we're in this together, right? We're like brothers in arms in this battle together,
Yeah.
like when I take on a client, so
And I really love hearing that, because I've had many conversations with VCs, and a lot of times, how VCs are. You talk to them, you present the project, they ask you a couple of questions, they're like, okay, like it was great, it's interesting, blah blah blah. Like I'll talk to you later. I'll text you tomorrow, and then you'll never hear from them. This is
ghost.
what I don't like. What I really like is that after the conversation, they tell you how shitty you are. This is what I love. And if they really think you are, and they tell you that, I don't really take that as something like, I, I just like hearing what is wrong. Like, what did you not
Yeah,
like? And that it makes me think, and make another idea or implement something new, so that the next time I talk to someone else, they're not going to have this question. So
exactly.
great feedback, honest feedback is the most important thing, and is very valuable when you're talking to, whether it's a VC or someone that wants to invest in your token, or even if it's your team. A lot of times we have conversations with our IT people and stuff, and I come up with an idea, and they're telling me that well, I don't think it's going to work. Why do you think so? And then if they give me points, valid points of why this is not going to work, I like that, because I don't want to invest my own money, or do so, spend more time on developing something new,
Hmm.
knowing that a lot of people are not going to like that. So yeah, great thing about the feedback. I really like that. And can you also tell us how Alpha Growth helping the greater ecosystem?
Totally. There's a lot of hmm. in new markets, and when people don't understand the market, there's a lot of like misinformation out there. And so my background is a developer, building data products in the past, and now building like algorithms to find companies to buy and sell, and in matchmaking type of that. We're seeing 1,000 new Web3 projects come into the ecosystem every single month. Like it's a tremendous, and 99% of them will never, they'll fail to launch, right? They won't launch a token, or they'll launch a token too early, or this, right? This, that, and the other thing. So what we do is we put out free data and free data resources. If you go to the website, alphagrowth.io, crypto analytics, you can see all of the metrics around these coins. So like companies that and projects that are going fast in TVL, growing fast in users, Telegram growth, Discord growth. You can, if you don't have the metrics of like market cap or market capitalization or price, you can use some of these projects' data to understand like how valuable a project is. Not that it's always correct, and you can like kind of like manipulate it by like adding Telegram users or Discord users, but at least you can filter out 99% of the garbage, right? So we're tracking over
Right.
17,000 coins right now in tokens. If you take the top 300, like these are actual viable projects that have like 10 million market cap or more, right? Outside of like a $10 million market cap, there almost isn't enough money or liquidity there anymore to like really be a viable project in the crypto space, because it's expensive. And if you look at that, if you take
Right.
300 out of 17,000, you're at a crazy high percentage of just like non-interesting or non-viable projects. So um, we help with data. We help kind of like, everybody on here, if you're going to go work with a client, if you're going to engage with a crypto company, group time engages with a crypto, look at our data, understand who has like a really like good chance of survival and making it, and basically putting it out there, because we shouldn't, as an ecosystem, we should be investing in things that have a potential to work, and not some other meme coin, or not some other like, we don't need
Right.
another Ponzi, right? We don't need another, we need something with like really good fundamentals, and a good team, good project team,
Yeah.
and a good ecosystem, and a good community.
Yeah, those tokens are coins that don't really have anything, behind them, but hype that everybody just talk. Some
Doge,
famous person
Doge,
spoke about them,
Doge.
and yeah, yeah, and this is why a lot of people that are getting into crypto or already are in it are saying that there is a lot of scam and fake, in this, in business in general, and this is only because of those projects that don't really have
Right.
anything behind them. They're just, doing some massive marketing, investing millions of dollars into it. People are buying, thinking that it's going to go up, and some people are making money on it too, if you're lucky enough. But that's all
Hmm.
about luck at this point. You can't
Hmm.
predict the future. So yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, Bryan. Yeah, if you did you have anything else to say about
No,
help about
I
this
think
topic? No? Okay.
that's our strength, man. We're trying to get enough information out there and research out there and data so that people can make the right decision on their own.
That's
Yeah.
definitely helpful, and I'm sure Grand Time would be scheduling
Mhm.
another call with you guys and discussing some more questions. Uh, uh, Talking about that, how do you think Grand Time's position is in greater ecosystem as a whole? Like, how do you see Grand Time in future? What do you think about the
Mhm.
project? What are your personal predictions?
Yeah, I kind of put you guys in like a very like fundamental like industry category. It's like the next 100 million wallets, right? Um, there's a couple like projects out there like Learn to Earn or like Play to Earn, Share to Earn, and you guys are like the tip of the spear of how people are gonna like experience crypto for the first time, and it's amazing. But you also have like a huge like responsibility, right? Um, a very early internet, like Web 1 and even in Web 2, there was like a lot of like these affiliate systems, and people like are just starting to figure out how to make money on the internet. And you guys are like the CJ.coms, these affiliate marketplaces. I see you guys as this iteration that's going to become this whole entire like new economy of like share to earn, engage to earn, get people learn to earn, play to earn. Basically, if you look at Web 2, it was like I'm going to go to this website, I'm going to pay money to engage and learn, and then Web 3 kind of flips it on its head. I was talking to like a Web 2 guys, like how do I take my set of courses, right, that I'm paying right now, and how do I turn it into
Mhm.
Web 3? And he goes, and I would just basically explain to him like, well, in Web 2, the user comes, they pay to get a certificate, and then they get the certificate and they pay you. But somebody values that certification at the end of the day as a business, right? The individual is proud of
Right.
themselves, but what business values the certification? So what I really think is going on in Web 3, where you guys are in this space of like engaging people getting into crypto the first time, is what companies need an army, what companies need like people to be certified. They should be the one burdening the price, and then you guys are the vehicle to get people on board on the crypto rails, start experiencing token. How do I trade? How do I hold? How do I keep this in my wallet? I mean, there's a whole level of financial literacy that's brand new. It's like, in America, it's like, okay, you have cash, you have a credit card, you have money in your bank. This is a whole new wave of financial literacy that you're at like the tipping point of, where you're either going to be financially literate or you're going to be financially controlled by the people who are financially literate. And so it's
Exactly.
super, super
Like you said.
important for people to experiment, get some token, understand how to handle it on their own, how to handle, if they want to go deep as the private keys, cool. If they want to use some like custodian, other mechanisms, cool. You're training the next 100 million wallets. And I just think that's like, it's an amazing responsibility that you have on your shoulders because you're
Thank
bringing
you.
so many people in. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. And I want to add that when we only had the idea of Grand Time, and at first, when the idea came up, obviously we didn't have anything. We didn't have a token. We didn't have a website. All we had an Instagram page of one of the co-founders that was doing live streams, and random people would show up on live streams, and he would just say, "Guys, let's make a community that's built. Let's build a community that will create this project." It was not about the token and then the community. It was about the community and then the token. Okay, and
Bro.
this is what we did. We had yeah.
Oh,
We
dude.
had
Okay, so
almost
here's how you.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Sorry, man. All right, here's the Web3 flip, right? Web 2, it's product market fit, right? Web 3, it's market product fit, right? So if you have the community, it's about sourcing what are the products and services that you already that inspire, engage, and grow your community even more. So Web 3 flips it on its head, and
Exactly.
you
Yes.
guys are like doing
And
all the
this
right
is this is
things.
why we are in it, and yeah,
Yeah.
and when we started building the community, before we even had a token, I think we already had about 2,000 people as a community in different chats, like on Telegram or other ones, or on Instagram. And those people would show up on our live streams. We would brainstorm. We would schedule calls. We had admins of different groups that were working for tokens that did not exist, and people knew that we don't have a token. We're working on creating one. So we were, talking to our community, asking questions and getting ideas from people that were, joining, liking the, understanding the future of Grand Time, I guess would be the best way to say that. And,
Mhm.
and all together, with the help of the community, we came up to the, to where we're at now, to the idea of Grand Time today. And we let the community do what they want to do. So basically, what I want to say, like, let's say if some person enters the chat on Telegram, Grand Time chat, and other people would start saying hi and introducing to Grand Time, answering all the questions that the person might have, and then if we see that he knows. He already knows something about crypto, and he is, and we have another admin a channel and people that are looking at people like that already are informed and know more
Mhm.
than others, and you can create, like, you can start teaching other people. You can be an admin of the group right away. You can start earning grants on weekly basis just because you're an admin. So we let people do what they like to do and teach other people. And then by building the big community, like right now we're about 27,000, and it's all organic. Like, we did not spend even $1 on customer acquisition. It was
It's
all word of
amazing.
mouth, and we love that. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And I think there is a big, there will be a big jump to a, I don't want to say numbers, but I am feeling, and I already have ideas and ways of attracting hundreds of thousands, hopefully
Right.
by the end of summer. I'm talking about that to my admins in different chats that are participants of Grand Time, and we're kind of working on the strategy of how we're going to do that. So I'm not going to announce all the details
Mhm.
about that as of right now, because I don't want you guys to call me at the end of summer and say, hey, you're bullshitting on that live stream. You didn't bring anybody. So yeah, but thank you so much for the feedback. I really, really
Mhm.
like that, and I am very, happy that a person like you, the owner, co-founder of a company that works with crypto projects, your feedback is
Mhm.
very, very important for me. Thank you so much for that. Bryan, one more question from me. Which is the most important on-chain metric to evaluate token design?
Yeah. Damn. I can talk about this for hours. The short and sweet answer is economic utility. I'll give a freebie out there. I don't know if I should do this on the live stream in front of all. Okay, well, fine. We'll do it. We'll do it. I'll do a freebie. So I think when we do token design and tokenomics, we fundamentally are looking for the juice of the economic activity of the problem that's being solved, right? And it's a lot of words. So let me give you an example. There was a big shift from Uniswap to SushiSwap because they were basically juicing and saying, hey, we're going to give you all of this other like APY and token, right? On top. And it was really cool. Less than not just the fees, but hey, there's this governance token and we're going to give it to you. But they kind of messed up, right? Um, the difference where Sushi messed up, and there's a huge opportunity for a DEX out there right now. And if somebody takes this, want to add me an advisory board, rad, like let's do it. Um, I think where they messed up is the what is the economic utility of the DEX? It's not for the liquidity to sit there, it's for the swapping mechanism, right? So they incentivized the wrong thing. They gave you
Mm-hmm.
APY incentivization to hold the liquidity, not for the swapping mechanism, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's just an example of like a token design that a lot of people would know or have access to or know about, in which you have to drive all the way down to that economic utility. It's like, why are people here? What problem are you solving? What marketplace narrative are you matching person A and B? What are they swapping? How are they coming together and transacting? Otherwise, it's just a set of Ponzi's, right? I was talking to this
Exactly.
dude the other day. I was talking to this dude, and he's like, "Oh, our economic utility is staking." And I'm like, "But you're not a validator, and there's no gas, right? Like that's just a Ponzi. Like it's just you don't." And we drove down into it, and he was like, "Whoa, okay, I get it. I get what the economic utility. I don't want to. It was in the music and NFT space, and we'll just leave it at that because whatever." But
Mm-hmm.
um, he was incentivizing the wrong thing, right? And so why are people fundamentally coming? Not for speculation, not for some bonding game, staking game, liquidity incentives for some lockup game. Why are people going to use your token, and what is your token optionality? Like, so we talk about economic utility, we talk about token utility, token optionality, and as of this week, there is a new promised land and finality of the game. So, what is the end game of all of this? In America, it's likely going to pass very soon that Bitcoin and Ethereum become a commodity. So the goal, we now have an end goal of any single token project. If you can be legitimized to the point where I live in America, so I'm very American centric, but you're considered a commodity, that means you've
Mm-hmm.
been ingrained into society so much and there's so much utility that you're no longer a utility token or a security token. You're literally like regulated as a commodity, and that should be the end goal of
Right.
every token project.
Yeah, so you have to have an idea of how you and your project, your token is helping either the community or anything else, like how you are helpful. And when people, this is exactly what I also tell people, in a simple words, you have to understand what you're investing in, where you're spending time, and like what does this token, what does this project do, and why is it
Mm-hmm.
helpful for crypto world and world in general. And then once you understand that, you personally, the user or the buyer, then you should you can start thinking about investing or anything like that. Not when you hear Coinbase making an announcement of a new new project being listed, and everybody starts buying, and then goes sky high and drops down even more. An hour later, this is not the strategy that not traders, but users, especially new users in crypto, need to look at. That you have to look at a long term idea of the project, and especially if it's helpful for Web3, then you should definitely look at it. And just like what we're doing, we're not. When I spoke to you and I told about gigs that we're focusing on, that we're going to be doing, that our community will be doing. I'm not focusing on money right now. I'm not trying to be
Mm-hmm.
profitable or make money out of that. I'm trying to get as many use cases, ideas. Where is Grand Time helpful? Like, how can Grand Time, partner up with many businesses or bloggers, whatever, and they will continue using it, and in the future. I'm thinking 100 years from now, not a year from now. So this is
Yeah.
an important thing for everybody to think about. Yeah, absolutely. Bryan, one more question from me, and then we're going
Cool.
to see what our users are asking. I already see a lot of questions. We're going to pick two or three interesting ones, and I will say, but last question from
Cool.
me. What are the components of a great token design that will ensure longevity of the project?
Damn. Um, the man. Okay. Great question. I think fundamentally, the ethos of Web 2 to Web 3 is something that is super community focused and network focused, right? Because the promise of Web 3, like if I'm on Facebook or I'm on Airbnb and I break a rule and Airbnb kicks me out. In America, you have access over 51% of the rooms in the United States are on Airbnb, right? If I get kicked off of Airbnb, I never have access to that inventory ever again. Like my optionality is super small. And the rules of big tech, Google's, the Facebooks, Airbnb is kind of cool, but like they're getting way, way powerful, right? So the promise of Web3 is if you don't like it, fork it, right? That's the ethos. If you believe that you can do it better and your rents are too high, the network says, oh, your rents are too high. We liked A, B, and C, but you're charging us too much for swapping fees, or you're charging us too much for listing fees, or you're charging us too much for advertising. Well, because it's all open source and it's all distributed and decentralized, you can fork it. So the longevity is based on how fast you can reduce your prices in the fees associated to your economic utility, so that another market entrant can't come in and charge less with a bigger network or anything else. So you're always competing as a race to the bottom. And the faster that you can race to bottom with your token in your network, the more longevity you will have, because people won't be able to compete.
Exactly.
People
so it's all about not.
People can only compete when the rents get too high, right? So when somebody doesn't care about a community, maybe a subsection of the community in a specialized community, or like I'll give you an example. Netflix is raising prices, right? People are leaving in America. They're leaving, right? Because Netflix is raising prices.
Right.
Amazon did something cool with AWS. For every single year, the last 15 years, they've been reducing the prices of their servers, making it harder and harder for market entrants to come in, right? If Amazon goes, hey, I'm going to increase our prices by 20% because we're AWS and we're cool, they're going to lose their community.
There you go.
New market entrant instantly. So as long as you're reducing your fees and keeping and putting the profits back into the community, back into the network, you'll increase your longevity.
100%. 100%. And this is also, I'm always pointing Grand Time, because this is what I do 24/7. This is what the community here is for, and this is what we do. You don't even have to invest to earn. You have to spend your time and help others, and this is what you're earning for. So we're kind of changing the understanding of money and what money is. Like, you are not working for money. Money is working for you. This is the idea that Grand Time has. Absolutely. Thank you so much for the answer, Bryan. If you're ready, we're going to read some questions of the community. Okay, let's see. I did not pick any yet, but let's see what we got. Okay, so one question that it's actually two questions in one, and we kind of went over it, but I will still read it. Bryan, how do you think? What's the key to success in the development of a crypto project, and what do you think about situation in the crypto market today, and what can we expect in the future of crypto?
Yeah, I don't know the future. I've been through 3 bear cycles. We're definitely in a bear. I don't know how long it's going to last. But this is build season, right? This is the season. I'm repeating a bunch of other smart people said. I mean, it's like, we're going to see another chain link come out of this. We're going to see another Near. We're going to see another like Solana, Avalanche, like big types of projects are being built right now that are multiple $billion tokens in 2 or 3 years that are just getting started. I'm excited because every time we go through one of these resets, it basically pushes out like a lot of riffraff, a lot of like, not core people. In terms of projects to go after, I would look at, there's investors and there's ecosystems that literally put out there exactly what they want to invest in. Like, I know Harmony does it, Aurora did it, Proximity Labs does it. They put out literally a list. We are looking to fund and have built A, B, C, D, E. Like, if you're an entrepreneur and like the ecosystem funds, bro, if you can build or you can find developers. It's just like the cash is there. Like you get a meeting, you say,
Just got to
hey, what
do it.
problems do you have? You just got to build. You just got to be able to build, right? Is you can prove that you can build, you have a little MVP. There's like 10K grants, 25K grants, 50K grants. I've even heard like $300,000 grants, like just to build on these like ecosystems, right? So there's crazy amounts of opportunity in this space. So, but
Absolutely.
you have to
And
prove.
I think that, being in the bear market where we're at right now, when everybody's freaking out that, prices, everything's dropping and people are losing money. I wouldn't call it losing money. I would call it, getting opportunities, but whatever, different people think differently, and also, like you said, mentioned about new projects, this is the
Yeah,
time when, another great set of huge companies is being built. When everybody's
100%.
losing and projects are going down, some other shark is getting ready to get out, to get out and show everybody
Absolutely.
who they are. Absolutely, yeah, 100%.
Dude, we're tracking
Let's see.
one
Yeah, yeah.
thousand Web3 projects every month. Like, there's going to be a boom from this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure you know more than I do because I don't track a
Yeah.
thousand projects, and you probably know something that not a lot of people do know, and
Yeah.
that's great opportunity for you guys too. Thank you for that answer. Let's see. Let's do one more. I really like this one. You are so young and already know so much about crypto. Tell me, how long does it take to learn everything?
Bro, I'm going to turn 41 this year. I'm not that young, bro. Um, I'll take it though. Um,
No?
how do you know? So like, whatever. I mean, dude, it's obsession. There's if you're an entrepreneur, I said this on before, and I'll tell young entrepreneurs this. There's people that fight in wars. There's people that like, they would 300 years ago, they would be at the front of the line with a shield and a sword, or a gun, and there's individuals that just need to climb mountains, right? And for a lot of people in the world, access to food, shelter, water, clothing is not, that's not what we fight for anymore, right? um, we fight these dragons, like these non-existent, like aspirational aspects of ourselves to become these better selves, right? And that's what we're fundamentally fighting for a lot of the time. And so for those individuals that need dragons to fight, need mountains to climb, if you turn your lens and obsession to crypto, like you just it becomes a dragon. It becomes a mountain to climb. It's like, how deep down the rabbit hole do you want to get to until you're like, aha, here's a problem,
I
right?
get it. Yep.
It's about finding the right problem. Like in crypto or anything else you do, it's not about owning. So every single time I failed as an entrepreneur, I was addicted to the solution instead of the problem, right? Because if you're addicted to the solution, you're like, oh, I'm going to build this technology and it's going to be great. And it's going to work like this, that, the thing, and the other thing. And it's like you might not build the right thing. But if you're
Right.
super hyper focused and obsessed with the problem, then you can iterate on the solution until you come to the right solution that fits the market, the economic utility, consumer adoption, market product fit.
Yes, yes, and with me, when we just came up with the idea of Grand Time, it took us, I would say, about a little over 3 years to build a community, to become bigger than we were in the beginning. And now, like, I moved to the Silicon Valley here in San Francisco about 3 months ago from Chicago. I lived in Chicago for about 8 years before that. And by the
Mm.
way, don't go to Chicago if you are a startup. There's nothing. going on there. There's no, conferences or startup meetings or anything like that. At least I did not find anything. So it was pretty tough. You're on your own.
Mhm.
You're with YouTube, and that's all that
Mhm.
helped me. And then when I came here, I started attending all those meetups, and that works great. You can, any day on Monday, anytime, Monday evening, Monday morning, there's something going on where startups and or crypto people are meeting and
Mhm.
talking and brainstorming, and that was great. I kind of felt like I came to the right place. Like, this is where I need to stay, at least for right now, to catch some more insights. And I was, most of the time when you go to places like that, like, you're like, okay, well, I already have something. You know, uh, you know, I have a community at least, and then we have a token, and we're already doing something. And here's a startup or next to you that starts, talking about, an idea that he has,
Yeah,
and I'm like, well, like, what am I catching here? Like, what am I gonna get? But like, I was surprised that these people that don't have anything will tell you, will kind of like push you to think about your product, and you start catching
that's right.
insights and building something new. And it took me like about a month to realize that, but then it kind of clicked, and I was like, okay. And that's when the idea of gig marketplace came, because we already have, our community was already doing gig tasks, but for
Mm,
us, for Grand Time. This is how we grew the community. And then I was like, why are we doing it for ourselves only? Like, we can be helpful to hundreds of other businesses out there,
absolutely.
to do the simple, yeah. And this happened here. So the communication
Yeah,
is all, like, attending all the possible conferences, all the possible meetups, without even knowing who is going to be there, where they're going to have a famous speaker, or is just a bunch of startups that don't have anything. It does not matter. We have to attend everything, listen to everybody, ask questions, and share our ideas, and get honest feedback. Bryan, I still remember that, and thank you so much for being honest on feedbacks. Okay, so let's do maybe one more question.
sure.
You think?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
sure. Why not?
All right. All right. Cool. Let's see what we got. Um. Well, let's announce this question. It would be interesting to hear what you say. What information should the project provide for investor when asking for, when opening, let's say, first venture round? Like, how
Yes.
would you present a project? Yeah, go ahead.
I think you need three or four things. Number one, because you're probably not going to, if you're at like pre-seed stage, seed stage, you're not going to have, I have articles on Medium about this too. So if you want to go in more in depth, the short answer is problem. Number one, is it a problem that the investor has or can identify with or relate to, right? An idea of a solution, right? I think that I might be able to solve this solution of this product problem in a particular way. Team. Has the team have the experience or history of being able to execute that problem? Ideally, they've executed that problem in the past in some other way, and then they have a new, better way to solve it. Or they have proof of experience that they can solve it, solving something else in the past. And then this fourth one is kind of tricky, which is narrative, and we help companies on this a lot. And narrative is basically can it pass the telephone game test? If I can pitch my company to
Mm-hmm.
you, and you can pitch it to the next person, and you can pitch it to the investor, and the investor can pitch it to his team, it becomes your likelihood of success becomes tremendously higher, right? So like like you want the eloquent solution a lot of times in programming, not the complicated solution. Like there's eloquence and elegance and simplicity, right? So you know not I'll call you guys out, right? So the thing I told Anna was
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, you're crypto Upwork, like like there's
Mm-hmm.
Upwork, there's crypto, there's all this regulation about what you can do and you can't do, and now you give people access to tokens that maybe didn't understand that before or have access, and then there's different tasks or whatever, and I feel like that's, oh, I get it, right? And it's like these guys are growing, this is how they're growing, here's a team that can execute it, and now they have a token embedded in this, which gives all this other access and possibility to interactions. And so like squeezing that idea from we're doing all of this stuff, grand vision, that you kind of get obsessed about as an entrepreneur. Sometimes you'd like need an outside perspective to go like squeeze it down. What's the one sentence? And then people will be like, oh yeah, they're like this, they're like that. And that helps with
The easy
fundability
way of
tremendously.
presenting yourself. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That not
I've
like
had.
for something to go inherently
Go ahead.
viral, the idea needs to be shareable, small enough and elegant enough and small and sweet enough that it's shareable, but also, and this is the key, that the person that you're telling this to is proud to share it. That's the key.
That's
Are they
awesome. That's
proud to
awesome to
share
hear.
this message? Yeah.
Great, great. I totally agree. I had a problem like that in the beginning because before we started presenting ourselves as a gigs in crypto that we do now,
Yeah.
we were trying to explain our tokenomics and an idea about why the token is going to be growing, that about the connection of the token to time, spending time, and the community and all that. And I could not explain that in one sentence. Like it was
Mm-hmm.
literally not possible. And every time I spoke to someone, it's either I'm spending 30 minutes talking about grand time and they're getting tired of it and want to like grab a beer and leave, or I'm not
Yeah, yeah,
talking about grand time at all. Like it was either or.
yeah, yeah,
And I was like, what, what, what should I do? Because I am scheduling calls with ventures. I am talking to, IT people, and I have to deliver information in the right way, and easy, like you said. It has to be, very simple. And yeah, and after 4 years of grand time, I can finally do it. So what I'm trying to say. Not always an easy task. Your product, your idea,
yeah.
your project can be huge, and you can have a very long term vision, but at the same time, you have to be simple. And
Mm-hmm.
explain yourself as people understand you as a very, very simple project. That's cool. Totally
I'll,
agree.
I'll add in one last thing. Um, a lot of people can build product now. There's a lot of courses on how to build product and code, but if somebody has a unique distribution mechanism, that's something that's really exciting. And here's how we're going to distribute it, right? If someone comes to
Right.
me and they have a snappy narrative, and here's how we're going to distribute it, bro, they're generally successful.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Thank you, Bryan, so much for
This
being
was
our
rad.
guest today.
Yeah.
We're going to be wrapping up already. We've been live for 50 minutes now.
Damn.
Great. I hear a lot of really cool feedbacks in our chats here from people that are listening, from users. We are going to attach links to Bryan's social media and website and everything, so you guys can go ahead and check it out after the live stream. And also thank you to all the users and participants and people that were watching the live stream for being here with us, for listening us. Hopefully, we were able to deliver some useful information that will help in your future, learning and about crypto and being in crypto. So thank you so much for being here today, Bryan. I will schedule a call with you after the live
Totally.
stream, and we're going to talk about tokenomics of grand time. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited to hear some feedback, some more honest feedback from you. So
There you
thank you
go.
so much, and I will
Absolutely.
see you soon. And next live stream on Sunday at 6 p.m. London, I'm talking to the users. As always, we'll be here again, and with some more interesting news, and we're going to answer some more interesting questions. So thank you so much, and I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.
That was fun. Thanks a lot.